After months of searching for the perfect candidate, you land an ideal fit. Your new hire made it through several rounds of interviews, reference checks, testing, background checks, and salary negotiations. You excitedly tell your team that help is on the way and imagine a better future with this star on your team. When they receive their offer letter, their enthusiasm peaks as they start to envision a long future with their new employer and look forward to that start date. Days go by and they hear nothing from you or your company. The silence starts to make them nervous and their enthusiasm cools. On their start date, they arrive with high hopes, but that quickly dissipates when they are asked to wait in the lobby for an hour. You set a poor start date and are pulled into emergencies all day, spending little time with your new hire. They sit by themselves in an empty cubicle for most of the day. They read new hire paperwork and policies while figuring out how to get a computer ordered and phone set up, something you forgot to do. To assimilate, you ask them to shadow your most senior person. Shadowing proves to be incredibly boring without context. They quickly realize that this veteran has no interest in training new hires, and they find it impossible to pull helpful information. This new hire is forced to learn on their way, hunting and pecking on your website and looking in file cabinets for information to do their job. When they do get real work, it is an overwhelming amount given their level of training. They soon find themselves working late hours to keep up with the workload. Several months go by when their previous recruiter checks in to see how they like the new job. "Well, now that you ask," is their first response, and in short order, they are back on the interview circuit. 4 months after a start filled with hope, they bitterly give you a 2-week notice and take their talents to one of your competitors. What was once promising ends in bitter frustration from both parties. Who is to blame in this situation? The answer is clear. The leader is to blame. You hired this individual, and it is incumbent on you and your entire team to make sure they acclimate at any cost. To do this, you must break the ridiculous cycle most companies endure with new hires. Stop me if you've heard this before. You make an offer, a new hire starts, they immediately start shadowing and probably with someone who is not very good or interested. They are forced to learn on the job by making too many mistakes too quickly. You are shocked when they walk into your office with a 2-week notice, long before they can add real value. You start the cycle anew and look for someone else to make an offer to. Glassdoor studied their treasure trove of data and found that organizations with a strong onboarding process improved new hire retention by 82% and productivity by over 70%. Korn Ferry surveyed thousands of executives across the globe, found that 98% believe onboarding programs are a key factor in retention efforts. Robert Half, a premier staffing and recruiting agency, found that 28% of new hires are willing to quit their jobs if they are not satisfied in the first 90 days. Harvard Business Review reported that nearly 1/3 of employees start looking for a new job within 6 months. This same study found that 23% leave before their first anniversary. 28% of new hires are willing to quit their job if they are not satisfied with their onboarding experience. Are you willing to live with these numbers, or do you want to get ahead of employee turnover? There is simply no point investing in your recruiting process if your company does not deliver a consistent new hire onboarding experience.